Hi, I'm Dan Dye from Gooogle Cloud Security. I've recently released two videos related to Google's Model Context Protocol for security operations. The first introduced AI runbooks for directing MCP clients to perform work in a repeatable way, and I shared a GitHub repo with a collection of those runbooks. In the second video, I demonstrated execution of the GTI Threat Hunt runbook using Klein as my client. I received a lot of questions about the possibility of repeating that demo using Google Agent Development Kit as the client. So I've been working on that, and I'm going to share it with you today. The MCP servers that I'm using in this demo are from the Google MCP Security GitHub repo. There are 4 servers: SecOps SIEM, SecOps SOAR, Google Threat Intelligence, and Security Command Center. Each of those 4 servers has a collection of MCP tools. For example, the Google Threat Intelligence MCP server has a Get Collection Report tool that takes a report ID as an argument. It returns the JSON for that report to the MCP client, which then sends it to Gemini for interpretation. The runbooks can help Gemini with that interpretation. For example, they can provide a template for how to show the collection to the user or how to write them into a markdown document. You're essentially injecting these instructions into the prompt that's sent to Gemini without having to type it every single time, and with giving you the opportunity to iteratively improve on the instruction. When I demonstrated this in Klein, I compared it to the coding guidelines that are often provided to AIs when working in an IDE. You don't want to have to tell your client that you follow the Google style guide for Python every time you generate code, so you use a rules file that has that instruction, and it's always in context. Those runbooks in Agent Development Kit are a little different. We still pass runbooks like Enrich IOC to Gemini, but we also take advantage of the agent in ADK. To set this up, I define the root agent using the SOC Manager persona from the rules bank. Then there are 7 subagents that align with the other personas. In this video, 4 of those agents are used: CTI Researcher, Incident Responder, and the Tier 1 and Tier 2 SOC Analysts. I can dive deeper into how a subset of the runbooks is used for each of those subagents in a later video. For today, let's just watch how they pass control back and forth as they work through the incident response plan and encounter steps that are their own specialization. All right, I'm going to demo Security Operations Center runbooks running in Application Agent Developer Kit, ADK. So first I'm going to start up ADK. Bring that into the window here. My agent is the Security Operations Center Manager. And my prompt is execute the Malware Incident Response Plan, IRP, runbook for case ID 2483. All right, and we've got our first transfer to agent. SOC Analyst Tier 1. It's having trouble seeing that on the screen, but there it is right there. So first task is being delegated to SOC Analyst Tier 1. That analyst is an agent, so the SOC Manager is delegating to this agent, and that agent is first getting case details, and then we see case details bulleted here. Next task is get similar cases. And this is interesting here. It says, as per previous comment. So I've executed this same incident response plan a few times, and each time the agents leave comments on the case wall, and in subsequent executions they're able to read those comments and then act on them. So it contaminates the testing a little bit, but it showcases an interesting feature. All right, and next it looks like we're going through enrichment for the various IOCs that were detected. So for example, here's an IP address. And I know that there are domains as well, superlist.top and superstarts.top. So those are going out to the Google Threat Intelligence MCP server, which exposes tools for doing research for those IOCs. Okay, and we have another transfer to agent here. So this transfer to agent is now going to the CTI Researcher, which is another persona, and that persona is, they all have access to all of the MCP tools, but through the persona definitions, they're instructed to focus on different skill sets. So CTI research falls squarely within the CTI researcher persona. So we're seeing some results now for MITRE attack techniques associated with the malware. This was determined to be ursnif, and okay, and we've pivoted there from, now that we know some of the techniques employed, searching in the SIM for evidence of those. So it found there were no new process launch file creation involving that hash, and we are constraining that to the host in question and for the user in question. And again, here is MCP tool use. This is search security events. Okay, and now we're on to step 8, which is synthesize and document. It was assessed as a true positive, and this is an ursnif infection. Step 10, malware triage for the hash. Okay, and we've got another transfer to agent. So the CTI researcher is transferring control back to the SOC Manager at this point. And this is interesting. They're kind of communicating with one another. It says thank you, sometimes calls out the agent name, and then says its own next step. And this is also interesting. A lot of times when the manager is delegating work, it will give instructions to the subagents to call back to me, the manager, for confirmation, or give me the report back, or yield control back to me. So we're running a different runbook at this point. This is the basic endpoint triage isolation runbook. And the IRPs reference individual runbooks, and then those runbooks also themselves have common steps. So there's a hierarchy of 3. There are the IRPs at the top, and then the runbooks, and then common steps. And they're kind of factored out so that the common steps can be used by multiple runbooks. And we're seeing search security events again, called by that runbook. And here again we see confirmed, this is prior analysis and case comments, and then it calls out the comment numbers. Established that malware test win was infected with ursnif. And here we go again. This is kind of some internal thinking. I need to confirm with the SOC manager, you, whether network isolation should be performed. Now this will sometimes prompt back, oh, it is in fact prompting back to the user. So I'm going to go ahead and type yes. To attempt to isolate the host, malware test win. Now, I don't believe it's going to be able to do that because I don't have EDR tools configured for this test instance. Yeah, as noted, this incident responder agent does not have an integrated EDR tool. Now handing back to the manager. Okay, yielding control back to the SOC manager for next steps of the malware incident response plan. Okay, and now we're doing IOC containment. So previously we were trying to contain the host, and now with IOC containment, believe that we're going to add the domain and the IP address to reference lists. Yep, the IP block list reference list and the domain block list reference list are going to be appended. And you can see it found some previous comments relating to those reference lists not being created. This tool set does not currently have the ability to create new reference lists. So in previous runs I saw that that was a problem, went behind the scenes and created them. And it is thoughtfully attempting to add to those lists again, not just assuming that it's going to fail again after reading the comments. Step 5, containment, add to the reference list. And then here you see an MCP tool call. And it was successful. So we have appended to that reference list. And next step, we're posting a case comment. This is yet again another MCP tool. And I'm very impressed with the way that case comments are not only left, but then used in subsequent analysis. Okay, we just did a similar action. Previously, we were appending to a reference list for IP block list, and now this is domain block list. So all three of the IOCs that are associated with this have now been contained, and handing control back to the manager. There's some visualization of this handoff between the various personas. So there are 7 subagents and the SOC Manager in this, and as I step through, here you can see a handoff from the manager to one of the subagents. So event 3 and to 5 is handoff from manager to agent. All right, this seems to be taking a little while, so I'm gonna pause here and come back and show the final result for this. All right, so in addition to the comments that were posted to the cases, and there's a report in Markdown that's written to disk, and this is a preview of that file. Again, it's case 2483, and we have an executive summary. We've got a timeline of the incident, as well as the steps that were taken for it. And you can see we've enumerated the IOCs that were captured, the 2 domains, and the host and the user associated with that host. The actions that were taken, this IOC and these 2 domains were contained via adding them to reference block lists, reference lists that are block lists. And this is, I think, the most interesting thing. It's a little hard to see here, so let's zoom way in to get the details on this. So this workflow diagram shows that the user prompted the SOC Manager, which is the root agent. The root agent delegated to SOC Analyst Tier 1, and then we see function calls. So the function call get case full details. It goes to the SecOps SOAR MCP server. That's the server, and that's a tool that's associated with that. And then even here are the parameters that were sent to that function call. So that I think is a really great demonstration of the delegation going back and forth between the various subagents and the root agent, the SOC Manager, and the tool call. So I hope that this has been a good demonstration of the potential of Runbooks in ADK, an App Agent Development Kit. Bye.